in the foreground, you get to see Shiloh, and then he's going to focus back to Coach Prime. We do this in filmmaking all the time, but Bucky has done this all in one shot to show you that this conversation is happening. Like, this is brilliant. Shout out to What Off Media for this video. This is my reaction to the first day of spring practice. Before I give you my reactions, I need Shador to tell you who we are around here. You can't make fun of me because I already know who I am. Shador, tell them who we are around here.
BWB. Bandwagon Buffs.
That's right. It's your man's Harry Billion. Please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. All right, family, I got to go ahead and get into this video real quick. So that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. All right, guys, so welcome back. That's right. We are BWB's bandwagon buffs around here. That's right. So you can't make fun of me. And listen, man, if my voice is a little slurred, I got surgery on my wisdom tooth, the top and the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So if my voice ain't the regular voice that you're used to hearing, it's cuss of that. But let's go ahead and play the video and let's react to it. Let's go.
Book of Genesis, the Bible says, in the beginning, is this the beginning? Who you taking with you? Who you taking with you at the end of the day? What's your sole purpose? What's the foundation built on? What are you aiming to get? What are you aiming to accomplish? Because God had a strategic plan in the beginning, God. Then he went on to do some wonderful things. But
in the beginning, some people in the media and the world was against the Colorado Buffaloes because of Coach Prime's flair, because of Coach Prime's bombastic, in-your-face type of talking. I'm bringing my luggage and it's Louis. You might want to jump into that transfer portal if you ain't about that life. If you don't think you a dog, just understand that I'm bringing in some dogs and they're here to take your place. That's what college football is about. Somebody's trying to take your place. A lot of people didn't get it. A lot of people were against this team. That energy is not the same this year. So in the beginning, there was a lot of hate. The hate is not gone yet. They had no idea that Coach Prime can coach on this level. They had no idea that Coach Prime would be able to recruit on this level. They had no idea that he would be successful in Boulder, but he was. The success did not show that much on the field, but because there were some other circumstances, other things that were going on that caused the success not to translate on the field as well. But can you imagine for a second? Can you imagine if the success had translated on the field as well, where we would be right now, what we would be talking about? I can only imagine. You remember that song? I can only imagine. Anyway, but listen, man, that's what was in the beginning of this regime. This time, it feels different. It's a little different. And that's what we're on this journey for this spring practice. Let's keep going.
But throughout that process of doing some wonderful things, he had to divide some things too. He divided this from this, day from night, man from sea, this from this. There's going to be some division. Good to bad. Starters to non-starters. The special teams to offense. The defense to this. The GAs to the coaches. It's always going to be something to divide. What side you going to be on? Because in the beginning, God, in your beginning...
If you're in that room right now, what are you thinking about? Are you a starter? Are you second team? Are you third team? Are you on the practice squad? What are you thinking about? Coaches are very brutal. Coaches are supposed to be brutal. They're not supposed to pamper you or anything like that. They're supposed to tell you straight up, hey man, this is what it's going to be. Coach Prime is very great at that. He's not the only one, but he's good at it. He makes it a point to make sure that he tells the truth, to let them know up front, this is what it's going to be. There's going to be some dividing factors. Whether you're first or second string, whether you're on special teams, you tell these young men what it is and what it's going to be. You understand what I'm saying? But you got to deal with it accordingly. Put yourself in a position, if you don't like what you're hearing, to change that. That's what this is about. If you don't like being on the second team, then fight your butt to get on the first team. Life is as such. Make the changes that's necessary to change your situation. Stop complaining. Stop pointing fingers. Start your own YouTube channel. Start your own business. Instead of getting stuck in the comment section and talking about other folks who are trying, start doing something yourself. Get off the couch. Start something. Are you afraid that people are going to talk about you like they talk about us creators? If nobody ain't talking about you, that means you ain't doing nothing. Regardless of what you're doing, if you're doing something right, people are always going to have something to say. You got to be able to quiet the noise. If you're in that locker room, we're all talking about you. Whether you like TLP Sports Club, whether you like Alpharu talking about you, DC Carson Music, Phil So Real, Peter Investor talking about you. People are going to talk about you. The pundits are going to talk about you. All of the sports analysts are going to say stuff about you. Whether you're a coach or you are a player on that team, this is the first day of spring practice. From this day going forward, you got to establish who you are. You got to determine who you're going to be in the beginning. Genesis 1:1.
What side you going to be on? Because in the beginning, God, in your beginning, which is today, who you bringing with you? In the beginning, hustle. In the beginning, hard work. In the beginning, dedication. In the beginning, commitment. In the beginning, team. In the beginning, unity. In the beginning, what? What you coming with? I got a question for you. Just do my morning messages this morning. God gave me something really good. I wrote, can you afford what your dream costs? The life you desire. The things and position you see yourself attaining. What does it cost? Family? Some friends? Folks? Some fun? It's probably going to be the ransom for your dream. You have no credit, period, when it comes to these things. So time is needed on delivery. Do you have time? What's your dream cost?
That's a really good question. I like that. It's going to cost you something. What does your dream cost? What are you willing to give up to realize your dream? If you're too afraid of other people doing it better than you, if you're too afraid of the opinions of others, if you are a creator and you're online and you just can't stand the fact that people got negative things to say, then you can't do anything because people are always going to have an opinion. For the most part, people are going to watch and just leave, but there are going to be those individuals that come out and say something, not just to creators, but to the players. You got analysts that think they know more than you. They're going to analyze. Former players that would say, hey man, you're lazy, you're this. It's going to cost you something. What is it going to cost you? How important is your dream? If I can remember the phrase from Mace, because I heard it first from Mace, It Is What It Is podcast or It Is What It Is network. He said, for the most part, the reason why people don't make it, there's only two reasons why people don't make it. Number one, they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing. And number two, they're really not putting in that work that is necessary to make it. He's right. It falls within those two things. If you want to be one of the best YouTubers, are you really putting in that work? Can you create 2 to 3 videos a day and put it out? If you want to be a lawyer, are you really studying? You really researching like a Thurgood Marshall? Do you really have the temperament to be a lawyer? If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a really good surgeon, you want to be a good business person, are you really doing the research that's necessary? You want to be one of the elites. Are you doing what is required of the elites to be elites? Like, think about it. And if you say, yes, I'm doing that, then look at the second option. Maybe you're doing something that you have no business doing. Maybe you're not even in the right field at all. And if you don't want to save face, right? If you didn't tell everybody on social media how dope you were, if you didn't tell everybody how you're going into business and putting all your business out there on social media and now it's not working and you just too shameful to say, all right, it ain't working, I'm gonna stop doing this and do something totally different because I ain't got no business doing what I'm doing right now. Are you in that space where you just can't go back, feeling too much, but you're too ashamed? Your ego is in your own way for you to just stop and say, you know what? I ain't supposed to be doing this. Let me end this right now and let me try something that I know that's right up my alley. It's going to cost you something. What are you willing to give up? And these players, some of these players are lazy. Some of these players have to realize that you can be new school, but those old school values are still relevant. Hey man, go to bed early. There is a connection with energy and sleep. Go to bed early. Get off the phone with your girl or your guy. Get off the phone with your boys. Stop bragging on the phone with your boys at home. Treat your body right. Understand the nutrition that's being provided. Take advantage of everything that's being provided. Take advantage of the opportunity that he's giving you. Are you really taking full advantage? Have you done everything that's required for you to start? What is that one thing that you can do more of that you know, only you know that you're not doing that can cost you or that can give you that ability to be elite or to start on that team? Think about it. Stop blaming, stop complaining, and just think about it.
Because some of y'all ain't willing to give up what it costs to attain your dream. You're still smoking. You're still drinking. You're still lazy. You're still not in your playbooks. You're still staying up all night, not getting the proper sleep, knowing we had to be there at a certain time this morning. What are you willing to give up to realize your dream? Anybody? Because it's going to cost you. My dream cost me some friends, some family members. I can't go out and kick it the way I wanted to go out and kick it because I was so focused on my dream that I kept eye contact on my dream and my purpose. So wanting to go out smoking, that ain't me. Because that wasn't gonna help me get to my dream. Want to stay up all night whoring, that wasn't gonna help me accomplish my dream. Not doing my schoolwork, so I'm not even eligible to participate on the only thing I got that helps me with my dream. What you gonna sacrifice for your dream?
One thing that frustrates me about a lot of people who are detractors of Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime, is the fact that this guy, what he's talking about right now, everything is true about what he's talking. The preparation that he put in, the understanding of his body, the understanding of if I want to be elite, I gotta do these things. He's not just a coach of this game. He was a participant, but it takes a lot of discipline. It takes discipline at his highest level. I'll tell you the truth. I'm not the most disciplined YouTuber there is. I'm sure I can get a lot of the top channels if I put out more videos, if I was to do more, if I was to follow all of the rules, what it takes for the algorithm to put me on top in the CU ecosystem. I ain't no slouch, but I know within myself, I can look in the mirror and be like, yo, Harry B, you know you could have done a few more short videos. You could have done a few more videos a day. I know I'm not putting in all of that work, but I know I'm not a slouch, but I know that if I wanted to be elite, I could do more. Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime, this guy is so disciplined. These are LeBron levels, Kobe levels, Michael Jordan levels, Steph Curry levels. It's one thing to be given the ability to do something. It's another to be disciplined to take it to that next level. We all have abilities. It's a lot of guys that are on that D1 level that have the ability, but is everyone really, like if you look at it, are they really that disciplined? So I hate it when detractors act like this guy knows nothing about football. Football, it ain't just what you do on the field. Football has a lot to do with your mentality, with your preparation, your readiness, the discipline that you put into the game. And he's done it at the highest level. That's why you got to respect it. You ain't got to like it and you ain't got to be buddies with him, but you got to respect it. You got to put some respect on this guy's name. So regardless of how hype we all about him and you just hate the fact that we are so hype about him and we talk so much about him, you just got to look at it and respect it, because in your own personal life, you probably don't have that kind of discipline that he has and the kind of discipline that he's trying to get these young men to put in order for them to achieve their goals, because there are going to be things after football that's going to help them. The things that he's implementing after football, these things can help these young men, and he's so passionate about that. That's why you got to respect this guy. That's why you got to lay off the silly names and the clown emojis. You got to lay off of that stuff, because he's doing the right things. He's more disciplined than you are. He's more disciplined in a day than you could ever be in a lifetime. You got to put some respect on his name, and I like what he's doing as a human being and as a coach. The winning is going to come and shut a lot of you guys up. I'm looking at somebody who's probably going to be the first African-American coach to win a natty. I'm telling you, man, when you are disciplined at this level, the only thing you need is time. Year 2, year 3, before you know it, we're going to be celebrating a natty, while a lot of you haters and detractors are going to be sitting back and licking your chops like, dang, I can't believe he won it. Let's keep going.
Sacrifice for your dream. Is anybody here still dreaming? Are y'all wide awake? Is anybody still dreaming? Is anybody in here still believing, man, shoot, I can do this. I can get my family out. I can bring us up out of that mess that I grew up in. I can save some folks. I can preserve some things. I can do this. I really can, because I don't have another game plan. What other game plan do you have that's going to pay you the way this potentially can pay you to get you out of the situation you in? What's the game plan? I got time today. What's your game plan? Because you ain't giving the coach everything you got. You ain't giving strength and conditioning everything they need, everything they want. So what's your game plan?
I had a different opinion about this part of the message right here. This is the reason why. This is CU. CU is not no around the way university, not one of those regular universities that you get in. So this message right here, it feels like the Jackson State message that penetrated well, because for the most part, it was an HBCU. You already know from society that black people as a whole, we're always fighting from behind. This message, I feel like, resonates more with the black players than it does with everybody in that room. And the reason why I stayed away away from saying the white guys is because there are some white guys that do have that situation where they're coming from low income homes. There are also some black people in that room that are coming from very high income homes. Every now and then, I would like to hear Coach switch that message up. If any message, I ain't telling Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, what to say or how to motivate his men, but that part of that message, I wanted to switch a little bit because not everybody in that room is broke, disgusted, and trying to get their mom out the hood. All right? That low income background is not resonating with everybody in that room. I will wish that Coach Prime can come up with something that ain't always low income. That was his reason. I mean, like, we're in a time where young people are making millions. We're in a time where the kids that are on that team are already millionaires because of NIL. Some of those kids are coming out of really good financial situations. Kids are making millions before they even enter college because they started a YouTube channel or they had a small business or they did something. So they're putting themselves through college. They're helping their parents to pay their bills. So today's message is not yesterday's message. That old school message of this is your opportunity to take your mom out the hood, out the projects. That message is not the kind of message that I feel like is always going to penetrate in a CU locker room. What is your why? Think about your why. Why are you here? It's not always about income. Some kids there are just fulfilling a dream just to play on a D1 team. Some of those young men just want to be a part of something that's bigger than they are. I would just like to hear something different in that regard.
How you gonna do this? Last time I asked this question, JB wonderfully said, Coach, I'm gonna do this and this if this don't work out. Remember that, JB? Yes, sir. You was the only one that said something. I said a lot of lefts. It ain't too many rights. And I need to know what's your game plan. But you got to be willing to pay the cost for your dream. Who's that? Huh? Who is it? Get out. For the whole day. I don't want to see you again till Wednesday. What does it say on the doors? No phones, no what else? We can't get that, we can't read? The standard is the standard. And I'd be dirty if I'm going to change the standard. Let's have a great day.
So the standard is the standard, and I'm glad that he's not going to change the standard. We're doing the same thing with our kids. We're trying to make sure that they understand, even though sometimes we feel bad. You think about it, that was an alarm. That was not like a phone call. Somebody had an alarm set for something, and they forgot to turn that alarm off. And unfortunately, that alarm went off. I have to see my alarm so I know exactly what that sound is. It's not like they were getting a phone call, but they should have either put it on the silent. I'm sure a lot of the young men took their phone to that room, but they either had it on silent or they turned it off. So if you're in the room and you forgot to either turn your phone on silent or turn it off, it's unfortunate, but the rules are the rules and you got to understand it. Those are some of the little things that you cannot allow to slide. I'm sure Coach Prime understood that that's not a phone call, that's an alarm. He'd be like, yo, why don't you turn off your alarm? But if he lets this one slide, then it creates something in the minds of the players. You got to set an example early as a leader. You got to set an example. Stuff like that happens. You see the rules and it's there all the time. It's always there. You're seeing it, but you don't really know how they're going to react to it until something gives you an opportunity to see what really happens if you were to break the rules. So that was good for the team. You know, everybody's doing the right thing and they don't really understand that if you cross the line, this is what's going to happen. The repercussions of crossing the line, it puts something in everybody's mind that, okay, this is serious. And some young men probably needed to hear that or see that in real action to see what was going on so that they can take something else more serious. So there's a point that I want to make here on this part of the video. I want y'all to understand that Bucky's not a trained filmmaker, all right? Bucky ain't no filmmaker like I am, and that's not a shot, okay? I wanted to make a point. The way that Bucky has really crafted these videos, the way that he captures these things, if you were to see a polished documentary filmmaker, they would do it in a different way. If you look at some of the footage from the CU guys that cover the team for CU, when you look at their footage, it looks a little different. When you are a trained filmmaker, you're trying to find cinematic moments where it's going to look good, like it's a film, like you're watching a film. Bucky's created this way of bringing you into the action and giving you different angles. He actually explained this in one of his interviews, but he's created this realness. He didn't do anything new, but it's new for sports. What he's doing for sports, this is different. This is new. The way that he covers Coach Prime here, let me show you guys. I want you to think about the way that he covers Coach Prime's here. Look, he's showing the shoes, all right? These shoes are important. He goes from the shoes, and then he pans up to Coach Prime practicing. You know, Coach Prime working out a little bit, and he's showing Coach Prime's outfit. Coach Prime fit, the shoes still in there, and then he moves on to covering low angle, covering Shiloh, and then he's gonna move over to include Coach Prime in the shot to give you a 2-shot. Now there's a conversation that's going to happen. So you get to see in the foreground, you get to see Shiloh, and then he's going to focus back to Coach Prime. We do this in filmmaking all the time, but Bucky has done this all in one shot to show you that this conversation is happening. Like, this is brilliant. He ain't trained to do this. This is something he has learned over the years that he's been doing this and covering the team. This is new. So I just wanted to point that out. Like, this is like next level filmmaking. I wanted to highlight this part because what he's doing right now, where he's rack focusing and he'll focus on Coach Prime and then he'll focus back on Shiloh, that type of rack focusing, that type of filmmaking, and then it's happening in real time. This is not happening with 2 cameras in a film. You would set up a shot where you're doing this specific thing, but he did this shot in one take. All right, he's doing all of this in one take, and he's using techniques that you guys will probably not pick up. I can do a video where I break down the filmmaking aspect of what Bucky is doing and show you guys how he has really transformed his style of shooting, how he has really transformed his videos, things that he's doing now. He probably watched some YouTube videos and say, look, let me pick up some things, or probably somebody has given him some tips, but you can tell the progression. You can tell that he's learning, that he's upped his game. You should really appreciate what he's doing. Like, if you don't look at it, you should really appreciate the cinematic value that he's providing on this team, being a one-man guy. Like, I don't know that he's using multiple cameras. He's probably just either using his phone or he's using a DSLR. The fact that he's rack focusing, I know the cell phones can do that now depending on which app you use. Probably using one camera to do all of that, and that's amazing. That's something for you to really consider when you're actually watching these things from a cinematic perspective. I'm excited about this team, guys. You know what I'm saying? The video's getting a little too long, but I just wanted to say, man, this team is getting ready. They're in shape and they're doing the right things. This is my team. If this is your team too, then we can big up our team without somebody coming and trying to say some crazy stuff. But this is our team. I'm excited for our team. No other team has this kind of access, the inside access to their team to see what the process, the progress that's going on the team. Not everybody has this access. I'm grateful for Coach Prime giving us this access. I'm grateful for Bucky and Well Off Media. Bucky, salute to you, man, for the things that you're doing. Salute to you for elevating your game, your coverage. I recognize what you're doing with the camera and the changes that you've made. I recognize that. I want to say salute to you, man. Even if I don't always have great things to say, even if I have difference of opinions, opinions that are not popular, even with all of that, man, I want to say I respect the heck out of the Sanders family. I respect everything you're doing. Don't ever take criticism from me to be malicious, because I really respect it. I love you guys. I love your family, and I love what you're doing and how Coach Prime is really changing the game of college football. I'm excited for this team, and I can't wait for the Buffs to take the field for real and play for 2024, man. I want to see some W's on that board. If you found value in my reaction video, guys, please share it with a friend. Don't forget to smash that like button, and most importantly, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to help this channel grow. I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay.